Right now that time, 10:32 on this Friday morning, today the 14th of November. John Mitchell is now in studio with us with the American Red Cross in the Heart of Tennessee chapter. How are you this morning?
Well, I'm doing great. I was a little bit late coming in the door, so I'm kind of catching my breath, but I'm doing great.
So what's new at the Red Cross? What's been happening?
Oh, man, a lot of really good stuff. Not too long ago, we had the MTSU Bleed Blue blood drive, and for another year, we did beat WKU in the blood drive. I think we had over 300 units collected at MTSU over a three-day span. And so we felt really good about that. We continue to have so many great partners at MTSU. There's a program a lot of people don't know. It's a Youth Action Campaign. And Dr. Amy Atchison, who has been on the air here in a different segment before, she has a class of students that do international law, and that's why they're part of the Red Cross through the international law program, and they did a horror house, The Horrors of War, about international law, the do's and don'ts, and it was real interesting. So we went over and visited that, and it's just when you talk about the Red Cross, we can be a blood drive happening over here, a youth group engaging with international law, or it could be a new volunteer that came to we called it Friendsgiving gathering Wednesday, and we just spent some time to say what we were thankful for, and it was really neat to see that a lot of our volunteers feel like they're part of a family with the Red Cross as we continue to reach out and help people in their time of need.
Very cool. And, a lot of people, I hate to say it, but there's a lot of accidents out there, a lot of auto accidents and whatnot, and a lot of those people need blood, and they need blood donations so that there is blood available.
They do, and it's a constant process. I had a gentleman stop by the blood center the other day, and we were closed. So our operating days are, we're off on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, so we can make it available on the weekends. But he was having a hard time kind of navigating, and, he was wanting to give blood. And so if anybody's, wanting to give blood, one of the best things you could do is go to redcrossblood.org and then just put in your zip code, and you'll find not only is there our blood center in Murfreesboro, Nashville, Clarksville, different places going on. It's happening at maybe your local church, or, World Outreach does a great job, but it's happening all around you. So the need is great. The opportunities to give is almost as great, and we can help steer you towards that opportunity. And yes, I'm a consistent blood donor. I've really got into it. I think I'm going to turn Friday into John's blood drive shirt drive day. So I'll just wear my whatever blood drive I went to last. But yeah, good point, Scott. The need for blood is continuous.
I'm always amazed. I'll run into somebody I know, and I'll know them fairly well, and we'll be talking and find out, within our talks, well, they had this accident happen or whatever occurred, and they say, yeah, it was so bad I had to have a blood transfusion, and I'm always surprised by that. But there's a lot of folks out there who've had that.
Yeah, there is, and there's a couple people that are holding blood drives, and they hold it in honor or in recognition of somebody that's going through cancer treatment or somebody that they lost, and it's a real motivating factor to say, this is a real need, and you don't know about it till you really, really need it. And that's why the Red Cross is constantly working on having more blood drives.
And you guys have something that you're promoting or letting folks know about, the CAP program.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, well, Bree's going to do a better job kind of explaining it. But in an essence, we work with the community in several different ways, and we're launching a community mobilization conversation. So we're looking to see how we can serve the community moving forward in the next 20 years. And that's not always us dictating to people how we want them to help us. We're having a conversation with organizations to see how they want to partner with us. And Bree is a breath of fresh air for our region. She's our regional lead, which means the whole state of Tennessee. And I'm just going to stop there and let Bree explain what she has done with CAP and how that may interest an organization. So, Bree, I'll let you speak on it.
Bree Houston with us, and she is with the Red Cross. Bree, so talk a little bit more about the CAP program.
Awesome. Such a pleasure to be on the show to talk about CAP. CAP stands for Community Adaptation Program. In the Red Cross, we have a lot of acronyms, so that's what CAP means. And what we do, we look for nonprofit organizations, to partner with that focus in hunger, housing, and food. And we go to these organizations asking how would they like to respond if a disaster were to hit the area that they're in. And I believe the Red Cross came out with this initiative about 3 years ago. And the idea behind CAP is to get people who know the area, people who live in the area, to be able to respond and to help that community be more resilient.
And this is a big problem because there are natural disasters literally everywhere all the time. And we've got, if there's not one here, we've got volunteers here who go to places like South Carolina, North Carolina, and so forth. But there's a lot that happens when you think about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bree, and I'll just add, and I'll let her, that's on a big picture. We know that we want that local community to wrap their arms around people. And so we're trying to be more flexible on how that looks. So you may have one organization that's got a ton of resources. They've got a place for sheltering. They got a place for showers. They got a place for us to put the pets. Then you have these other smaller organizations that really want to help, and they may not have all those great, facilities, but they've got people that care, and that's where CAP can come in. Is that a fair assessment, Bree?
Yeah, that's more than fair. And during disasters, research shows that people who are affected by the disaster would rather see a face that they're known or that's in the community. So when we go to partner with nonprofit grassroots organizations, those are people who know the community. They know each other. They see each other at church, at different sporting events, in the grocery stores, so they feel more comfortable going and getting other resources from a friendly face.
So you guys are trying to find local, let's say, businesses, churches, things like that, even private, schools that could open up their facilities at a time of need like a natural disaster.
That is correct. Organizations that are nonprofit, we look to partner with those who are willing to respond, are focused on their everyday operations, which is hunger, housing, and health. And because those are the three areas that are most at risk after a disaster. So, for example, we have a feeding partner, and the partner will choose how they will respond. Say they want to open up their restaurant, or they want to be a distribution site for the Red Cross to bring in food and resources for the community. So yeah, we're looking for people who have the heart of the community, who want to help to respond. And every partner doesn't have to do the same thing as John mentioned, because there are people who want to give back and may not be able to give back due to the size of their organization as much as another organization. So if they're looking to help volunteer, we're accepting volunteers. We accept people who would help in those gray skies, which we call gray skies when there's a disaster, but also during blue skies when times are good, there's no disasters. We look for organizations to help host classes and seminars to help the community to prepare for a disaster. So therefore, we're being proactive and not just reactive.
And what are you seeing in other communities? What types of partners are you seeing line up with the Red Cross?
We have seen nonprofit organizations such as there's restaurants. There has been disaster relief programs that we have partnered with. We've partnered with housing organizations. We have there's over 19 field teams, community adaptation teams across the nation, and each team have different partners. It's not a cookie cutter program. It's really finding those pieces and the organizations that help with that community, because every community is different and the needs of each community is different.
And then how does an organization sign up with the Red Cross to be a part of CAP?
An organization can sign up by reaching out to their local chapter, first seeing if there is a CAP team there. For the Tennessee region, if there's an organization who wants to sign up for CAP, you could either reach out to John or myself. You can call me at 731-697-1636.
All right. And then, John, folks can directly come to you and say, hey, I want to be a part of this. We want to open our doors.
Yeah, and I give out my cell phone, too. That's my work phone. It's 615-651-3405. And we'll just set up a meeting and come and talk to you about the opportunities. One good example is the Reedyville tornadoes is one of our more recent tornadoes. So that's an example of, the destruction is going to happen. We can't pick and choose. So we may have what we've always considered shelter partners over the years, but what if it happens where we don't have a shelter partner? And so Highland Heights Church of Christ, we started operating with them from day one, and we ended up, with this great relationship with them. And I think what we're trying to do now is let's go ahead and talk to them now and say, maybe you're not a shelter partner because you don't have the facilities, but when it happens, we want you to be there. And trust me, that was the place. That was the central location that everybody was coming to. That was the hub. It happened naturally. So we're just going to try to be a little more proactive and not kind of tell people, well, you don't fit in this hole, so therefore you're not a Red Cross partner. We're opening that conversation to say, hey, we value you. We value the passion your people will bring to the situation. Let us, craft a memo of understanding on how we want to work. Let's do that during blue sky, so when it happens in gray sky, we've already got the relationship.
And then, Bree, have you seen this in operation and how it unfolds and how well it works?
I have, and it's a beautiful thing how CAP works. Last April, when the tornadoes hit Selma and Grand Junction, we actually had partners in Madison County that mobilized to Grand Junction, and they really fulfilled the need of the community. We had partners to bring toilet paper, paper towel, make hygiene kits, congregation that donated toothpaste, toothbrush, underwear, T-shirts. We had a partner who was able to, through their connections, they were able to bring laundry trailers to Selma. We had our Browns Creek District Association partner. They were on site less than 24 hours to assess the area. Madison Chester Baptist Association, they were there to clean up the debris and to clean up any trees that could be in roads or take trees off of houses. And so it's a beautiful thing the way CAP works, and to see all the partners come together, mobilize, and really help that community. We had partners who helped set up shelters. We had partners who donated snacks and food to shelters, as well as congregations who raised money to donate to the Red Cross for this mission. So it's a thing we never want to see it happen because we don't want to see a disaster strike a community, but when it does, we are grateful for CAP and our CAP community partners who are there to say, I'm here, what's needed. They have their boots on the ground, and they're ready to go to work.
That sounds good. Again, sounds like a great program. And if anybody locally wants to be a part of it, reach out to John, the Red Cross office here in town, and say, hey, I want to be a part of the CAP program.
Yeah, we'll take time to come out and meet with you and just have that conversation to see, what's your interest and how do you fit within the Red Cross.
It sounds good. And as we close out this morning, do you see a lot of churches who are joining to be a part of this? Because I could see, kind of like what she was talking about, I could see their congregation coming together and helping out in a major way.
Bree, I'll let you answer that from your experience in the tornadoes in Jackson.
Oh, absolutely. I don't have the exact number, but we have so many faith-based partners because they really have the heart of the community. A lot of churches join. We have, as I mentioned, Browns Creek District Association. They're an association of the Baptist Church. Madison, Chester, Crockett, Disaster Relief. They are an association of Southern Baptists. We have Gospel Temple. We have Bethlehem Missionary Baptist Church. And so we have a lot of churches. We have Kingdom Builders Christian Church in South Jackson. So a lot of churches do partner with us because they're doing that work anyway, right? So if a disaster happened, churches or faith-based organizations are most of the time, they're going to open their doors to try to help in any way that they can. And so we're not doing anything new here as far as our faith-based organizations because they're going to do that work. They're opening their doors, they're feeding, they're providing shelter, and so they're great partners to have. We just come alongside them and help in whatever area they need us to help in. And so we like to support our partners with disaster preparedness classes, support them with hands-only CPR, help them to be ready in case there is an emergency inside their congregation or when they're hosting an event. And so, yes, faith-based partners make up a lot of CAP because they're already doing the work, and we're so appreciative of them.
That sounds great. Again, Bree Houston with us today, and also John Mitchell from the Red Cross office here in town. And John, where's the Red Cross office located if somebody wants to stop by?
Yeah, right there on Memorial Boulevard, across from the Popeye's Chicken or the Goodwill's across the street. Those of us that have lived in Murfreesboro a long time know that bridge that stretched over Broad kind of changed things. So sometimes, depending on where you're coming in on Memorial Boulevard, you can take a direct turn in one way, but the other way you may have to come in from the Broad Street entrance. But 501 Memorial Boulevard, Blood Center downstairs, humanitarian services support staff is upstairs. Feel free to come in and get on the elevator and start asking for John Mitchell, Jonathan Taylor, Lisa Neese, or Nikki Festervan, and we'll work with your needs and how we can work together in the community.
That sounds perfect. Well, John and Bree, thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you.
Right now, that time, 10:50. Stay with us. We do have more news and information coming your way next.